Kia ora, I'm Erin J. Doyle. Welcome to my channel. As mentioned in my previous video, I am horrifically busy at the moment and didn't really have time to think and prepare before sitting down to film, so it's going to be another tag. There may be a lot of these over the next month or so. So today, for time-saving purposes, I'm doing the It's a Writer's Life for Me tag. Questions, etc. will be in the description below. So, question 1. What kind of writer are you? Fiction, poetry, plays, etc. I write poetry and I'm also currently writing a novel. I don't think that flash fiction, short stories, screenplays, etc. are really something that's ever going to really fit into my repertoire. I really struggle with short forms. Question 2. When did you start writing? What made you want to try it? I've been telling stories since before I could hold a pen or even recite the alphabet correctly. I have always been a storyteller. And I think that blends so thoroughly into the desire to be a writer that I can't actually pinpoint a beginning moment. I know that I was telling stories as soon as I could actually communicate. So yeah, there isn't really a beginning. Question 3. What inspires your writing? Life? Dreams? The question, what if? Exposure to other stories and people and stuff. I don't think there's a specific source of inspiration for me. It's everywhere. Stop gesturing! I will never be able to stop doing this in the bottom of my videos, apparently. Question 4. What themes do you like to explore in your writing? Themes are something that I don't really think about. They just kind of arise during the course of the writing process. I'm much more interested in telling a story than exploring a specific question or theme or communicating a message. Okay, I've just been trying to think of themes which recur in my writing, even if it's not something that I intend to do. I honestly can't think of anything. So I honestly, I don't know. I'm going to have to pass on this one. Question 5. Are you a pantser or a plotter or a bit of both? I have always been a pantser, and over the last year or so I have been trying to actively transition into more of a plotter because I guess I just started plotting in general, but also I think, yeah, the plotting reduces the amount of chaotic revising, and hopefully future projects which are plotted from the beginning won't take as long as my vampire historical fantasy, which I started writing in the 1990s and still have not finished. So yeah, the dream is plotter. We are actively working on it. Question 7. Have you ever entered any writing contests? I think I've entered a couple of flash fiction contests, maybe a poetry one. Never got anywhere with it. I generally just don't really bother with those because most competitions are for like flash fiction or short stories, which I can't write. So yeah, my options feel kind of limited for that. Number 8. Who are your writing heroes? I have no heroes in any context. I think picking a hero is just picking someone to disappoint you in the future. I may be a pessimist. Number 9. Have you been to a writing conference? Yes, like last month. Final question. What are top 3 tips you would give to a newbie writer? I'm going to go poetry writer for this because even though I'm currently working on a novel, all of my published work is poetry, so that kind of feels like the more validated kind of expertise, whereas novel writing's like, well, I think this is working. My first tip for writing poetry is when you've finished your first draft, have a look at your first and last stanza. Your first stanza is often you just kind of warming up to your poem, and your last stanza is quite often you kind of just hammering the point in. cut both of them and see what the poem looks like. Quite often, it's much better without them. Number 2, rhyming is hard. If you're a beginner, just don't rhyme at all. Rhyming is not what defines a poem. If you stop trying to reach for the rhyme and using weird words because, well, at least they rhyme, you might come up with a nicer, more fluid sounding piece of poetry than if you stretch to find those hard rhyming words which aren't actually a good fit. And number 3, read it out loud, and do so often throughout the writing process. Get to the end of your draft, read the whole thing out loud, and if you find yourself stumbling over words when you're reading them out loud, your reader is also going to stumble over them. So those are going to be the things that you need to tweak in order to maintain the rhythm without resorting to rhyming. That's the end of the tag. The questions are in the description, so if you want to do it yourself you can, and if you do, leave a comment down below so I can go check out your video. If you liked this video, do give it a like, and if you're new around here, maybe consider clicking subscribe and ringing that bell so you can stay up to date, and I'll see you next time. Bye!